When 82-year-old Hiroshi from Okinawa was offered the same cholesterol medication that millions of American seniors take daily, he politely declined and walked out of his doctor's office, a decision that may have just added years to his life. And here's the shocking reason why. You see, while American seniors are filling prescriptions at record rates, popping pills that promise to protect their hearts, there's something deeply unsettling happening that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to discover. Japanese seniors are living longer, staying sharper, and enjoying better health outcomes while deliberately avoiding one of the most prescribed medications in the Western world. And when you hear what's actually inside this pill and what it's doing to your body's natural healing mechanisms, you'll understand why this 82-year-old man made the wisest decision of his life. But before I reveal which medication we're talking about and why Japanese doctors are so reluctant to prescribe it, let me paint you a picture that will make your blood run cold. Imagine your body as a finely tuned orchestra, where every instrument plays in perfect harmony, but then imagine someone walks in and starts muting the violins, dampening the cellos, and silencing the flutes one by one, claiming they're making the music better, when in reality they're destroying the very symphony that keeps you alive and thriving. That's exactly what's happening inside your body right now, if you're taking this particular medication, and the most terrifying part is that you probably have no idea it's even occurring, because the symptoms develop so gradually, so insidiously, that by the time you notice something's wrong, the damage may already be irreversible. Now, you might be thinking, how can this be true when my doctor prescribed it? And that's exactly the question that 67-year-old Mary from Ohio asked herself when she started experiencing muscle pain, memory fog, and crushing fatigue just 6 months after starting her new heart medication, symptoms that her doctor dismissed as normal aging until she made a discovery that changed everything. You see, Mary had a Japanese daughter-in-law who shared something that doctors in Japan have known for decades, but somehow never made it into American medical schools. This medication doesn't just lower cholesterol, it systematically depletes your body of a vital nutrient that your heart, brain, and muscles desperately need to function, and without this nutrient, you're essentially starving your organs at the cellular level while being told you're getting healthier. The medication we're talking about is statins, and while American doctors hand them out like candy to anyone over 50 with slightly elevated cholesterol, Japanese physicians approach them with the same caution they'd use when handling radioactive material, and there's a very good reason for their hesitation that will make you question everything you've been told about heart health. Picture this. Your body naturally produces about 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day because it's absolutely essential for hormone production, brain function, and cellular repair. But statins don't just lower the bad cholesterol, they slam the brakes on your body's entire cholesterol production system like a sledgehammer hitting a delicate watch, and in the process, they also block the production of coenzyme Q10, a nutrient so critical to your heart's function that without adequate levels, your heart muscle begins to weaken and struggle like a car trying to run without oil. This is why Japanese seniors, who consume the same amount of cholesterol-rich foods as Americans but avoid statin medications at much higher rates, maintain stronger hearts, sharper minds, and more energetic bodies well into their 80s and 90s, while American seniors on statins often find themselves dealing with mysterious muscle pain, cognitive decline, and that bone-deep exhaustion that makes every day feel like you're walking through thick mud. But here's where the story gets even more disturbing. When Mary discovered this connection and asked her doctor about coenzyme Q10 depletion, he looked at her with a blank stare and said he'd never heard of such a thing, which is particularly shocking when you consider that every single statin medication sold in Canada comes with a mandatory warning about CoQ10 depletion. But somehow that same warning mysteriously disappears when the medication crosses the border into the United States. This isn't some conspiracy theory or alternative medicine nonsense. This is documented science that's been peer-reviewed and published in major medical journals for over 2 decades, yet somehow millions of American seniors are walking around with severely depleted CoQ10 levels, wondering why they feel like shadows of their former selves, while their Japanese counterparts are climbing mountains, tending gardens, and living vibrant, active lives that would exhaust people half their age. Now let me take you inside a typical day in Okinawa, where the air smells like sea salt and blooming jasmine, and where 90-year-old grandmothers still wake before dawn to practice Tai Chi in the local park, their movements flowing like water, their eyes bright and alert, their skin glowing with the kind of vitality that seems impossible in a world obsessed with anti-aging creams and miracle supplements. These women aren't taking a handful of pills every morning. Instead, they're following principles that have kept their people healthy for centuries, principles that focus on nourishing the body's natural healing abilities rather than suppressing them with synthetic chemicals. They eat purple sweet potatoes rich in anthocyanins, bitter melon that naturally regulates blood sugar, and seaweed packed with minerals that most Americans have never even heard of. But more importantly, they avoid the medical interventions that have become standard practice in Western medicine, particularly those that interfere with the body's natural cholesterol production. You see, what Japanese doctors understand that their American counterparts seem to have forgotten is that cholesterol isn't the villain it's been painted to be. It's actually one of your body's most important healing compounds, rushing to sites of inflammation and damage like a microscopic ambulance carrying repair materials, and when you artificially suppress cholesterol production with statins, you're essentially firing all the repair crews and wondering why your body starts falling apart. This is why Japanese seniors who maintain naturally higher cholesterol levels often live longer and experience less cognitive decline than their American counterparts, who've been convinced that any cholesterol number above 200 is a death sentence requiring immediate pharmaceutical intervention. But the pharmaceutical industry has spent billions of dollars convincing doctors and patients that statins are miracle drugs, essential for anyone over 50, and they've been so successful in this campaign that questioning statin therapy has become almost heretical in American medicine, even though the actual research tells a very different story when you dig beneath the surface of industry-funded studies and marketing campaigns. For instance, did you know that for every 100 people who take statins for 5 years, only one person will avoid a heart attack that they would have otherwise had, while the other 99 people experience no benefit whatsoever but are exposed to all the risks and side effects? This means that 99% of people taking statins are essentially participating in a medical experiment that offers them no benefit while potentially causing significant harm, and this is exactly why Japanese doctors are so much more selective about who they prescribe these medications to. The most heartbreaking part of this story is watching American seniors deteriorate unnecessarily, their families attributing muscle weakness, memory problems, and chronic fatigue to normal aging, when these symptoms are actually preventable and often reversible once you understand what's really happening inside your body. Take 74-year-old Robert from Michigan, who spent 3 years thinking he was developing dementia because he couldn't remember his grandchildren's names, couldn't follow conversations, and felt like his mind was wrapped in cotton, until he discovered that his statin medication was starving his brain of the cholesterol it desperately needed to maintain healthy neural connections. Within 6 months of stopping the medication and supporting his body's natural cholesterol production with targeted nutrition, Robert's mental clarity returned, his energy surged back, and he was once again the sharp, witty grandfather his family remembered and loved. This transformation isn't unique to Robert. It's happening quietly in homes across America as more seniors discover the truth about statins and make the brave decision to prioritize their body's natural healing mechanisms over pharmaceutical intervention. But sadly, many more remain trapped in a system that profits from their suffering while keeping them in the dark about safer, more effective alternatives. The Japanese approach to heart health focuses on supporting the cardiovascular system through nutrition, movement, stress reduction, and social connection rather than chemically suppressing natural biological processes, and the results speak for themselves. Japanese seniors have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, dementia, and diabetes despite consuming similar amounts of dietary cholesterol and having similar genetic predispositions to cardiovascular problems. Now, I know what you're thinking. If this is all true, Why hasn't my doctor told me about it? And that's a question that cuts to the heart of a medical system that has been systematically corrupted by pharmaceutical money, where doctors are rewarded for prescribing medications and penalized for taking patients off them, where medical schools receive massive donations from drug companies, and where continuing education is largely funded by the same corporations that profit from keeping you on medications for life. Your doctor isn't evil or incompetent. They're trapped in a system that has been designed to prioritize profits over patient outcomes, and most of them genuinely believe they're helping you because that's what they've been taught, and that's what the manipulated research appears to show. But here's what gives me hope. You have the power to change your story starting today, and you don't need anyone's permission to begin supporting your body's natural healing abilities the way Japanese seniors have been doing for generations. The first step is understanding that your body is incredibly intelligent and capable of maintaining optimal health when given the right nutrients, the right environment, and the right support, rather than being chemically suppressed and artificially manipulated by synthetic drugs that create more problems than they solve. Japanese centenarians don't achieve their remarkable longevity by taking more medications. They achieve it by taking fewer medications and supporting their bodies with time-tested nutritional and lifestyle practices that enhance rather than interfere with natural biological processes. So here's what I want you to do right now, today, before another day passes and your body suffers more unnecessary damage from medications that may be doing more harm than good. First, have an honest conversation with your doctor about the risks and benefits of any medications you're currently taking, armed with the knowledge that you now have about statin-induced CoQ10 depletion and the Japanese approach to cardiovascular health. Second, research the traditional dietary practices of the world's longest-lived populations and begin incorporating those foods into your daily routine. Purple vegetables rich in anthocyanins, omega-3 fatty acids from wild-caught fish, fermented foods that support gut health, and mineral-rich seaweeds that nourish your cardiovascular system at the cellular level. Third, find a healthcare practitioner who understands functional medicine and is willing to work with you to address the root causes of health problems rather than simply prescribing medications to suppress symptoms, because your life and your vitality are too precious to waste on a medical system that sees you as a profit center rather than a human being deserving of true health and longevity. Remember, every day you wait is another day of potential damage to your heart, brain, and muscles, but every day is also an opportunity to begin supporting your body the way nature intended, the way Japanese seniors have been doing for centuries, and the way you deserve to live for many healthy, vibrant years to come. So take action today, because your future self will thank you for having the courage to choose true health over pharmaceutical dependency.